Welcome to a new episode of 7 Minutes of Bond Locations. I'm Martijn Mulder for On the Tracks of 007.com, and in this episode we will travel to the second largest country in the European Union, Spain. Because of its position near the mouth of the Mediterranean Sea, the Iberian Peninsula has always been of immense strategic importance for anyone trying to rule over Europe. It took the Romans 2 centuries to conquer the peninsula, but they would hold on to it for 600 years. When the Roman Empire had disappeared, the Moorish Muslims from North Africa saw their chance and they took it. They would be present in Spain for almost 800 years and would leave their architectural footprints all over the country. At the end of the 15th century, their final stronghold surrendered to the combined forces of the kingdoms of Castile and Aragon. The unification of the crowns by the marriage of Isabella I of Castile and Ferdinand II of Aragon laid the basis for modern Spain and the Spanish Empire. Columbus' conquest of the Americas turned Spain into a colonial superpower overnight, and the wealth they would enjoy from trade, looting and wars is unsurpassed. Only one of the Bond actors frequently visited Spain during his run as Bond, and that's Pierce Brosnan. His third film, The World Is Not Enough, and fourth film, Die Another Day, made both extensive use of Spain, but mostly portraying it as other countries. On other occasions, though, scenes were filmed by second units, without any cast members involved. In From Russia With Love, the insert with the brown rats in the Istanbul sewer was apparently filmed in Spain. Also, for You Only Live Twice, part of the Little Nelly dogfight in Japan was filmed in the skies over the Sierra Nevada mountains, as I explained to you last week. And when the script finally called for a location near Madrid, they actually filmed this in Corfu, and For Your Eyes Only. So in 1999, it was about time Spain was properly used, and this was done in the pre-title sequence of The World Is Not Enough, when Pierce Brosnan went to Bilbao. Bond can first be seen walking the Henao Street, before going towards the impressive Guggenheim Museum, about 4 blocks to the north. The Guggenheim is a museum of modern and contemporary art, designed by Canadian-American architect Frank Gehry. It opened its doors in 1997, so being in a Bond film was a smart decision from a marketing point of view. Directly opposite the shiny building you can find a triangular building block, of which one of the corner apartments was used as the Banque Suisse de l'Industrie. It was Thomas Gleitzman who managed to get into the actual apartment on the 6th floor, back in 2016. Later in the film, for the scenes in which Bond visits Electra at the Turkish pipeline construction site, the action moves southwards to Cuenca.
On the road from Las Majadas, Bond drove his BMW through the woods and ended up at Los Callejones.
It's a magical sight, where the erosion of limestone rocks produced curious shapes such as passages, arches, monoliths and bridges. The Turkish village, Coptic church and pipeline were all set dressing, of course. When Bond infiltrates a nuclear facility and meets Dr. Christmas Jones for the first time, they are back in northern Spain. At Bardenas Reales, a 400 square kilometer large desert-like area, the crew had no trouble using machine guns and explosions, as this area is frequently used by NATO air forces for practice. A recent visit by Uwe Bruzamble proved that there are still parts of the nuclear facility escape hatch lying scattered around.
Our friends call me Jinx.
My friends call me James Bond.
The final big location that we will discuss is located in the south, Cadiz. Before the Dutch East India Company was founded, Portugal and Spain basically ruled the world, and they had their trading posts all around the globe. Precious goods like spices, gold, silver, they arrived here literally by the shiploads for centuries, making Spain the wealthiest country of Europe for a long time. Most of the Spanish voyages started and ended here in Cadiz, so it's always been a very important city for Spain. On one of these voyages, Columbus discovered Cuba, and the Caribbean island would stay under Spanish rule until late in the 19th century. Therefore, all Cuban cities look like Spanish cities. So when the Die Another Day script called for scenes to be shot in Havana, Cuba, it was an easy decision to film these in Cadiz. The establishing shot was filmed at the Avenido Campo del Sur. As you can see here, it's almost a one-on-one copy of the Havana situation. The location used for Dr. Alvarez DNA clinic on Los Órganos was really not an island, but it didn't need much to make the Castillo de San Sebastián look like one, as it's only connected to the mainland by a very thin pier. And even this resembles Morro Castle, a local attraction in Havana. In Cadiz's old town, you can find some of the other locations, like this alley and tunnel. And the exterior of the Cuban cigar factory, which in reality is a covered market building. At Playa de la Caleta, you can't miss the odd-shaped construction known as Balneario de la Palma y del Real, which doubled for Bond's hotel. And it's here that he spots Jinx for the first time. The final location I'm going to show you is the road to
Playa de Camposoto, una playa virgen que con sus más de 6 kilómetros de longitud es una de las playas más extensas de Andalucía.
And on this road you can see Bond drive in his 60s car while enjoying his cigar. Of course, Spain has a lot more to offer than just these Bond locations. Beautiful cities like Sevilla, Madrid and Barcelona, the Moorish architecture in Granada, exciting football matches, wonderful beaches, and additionally plenty of other film locations, especially all the way in the south, where Sean Connery filmed a brief scene for Never Say Never Again, and where he would later return to film extensively for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And don't forget all the spaghetti westerns Clint Eastwood made here with Sergio Leone. More recently, Spain was used heavily in Game of Thrones. The before mentioned Bardenas Reales, for instance, which was a setting in season 6. Someone who can be considered an expert on Spanish filming locations is Jaume Palau. Jaume is a friend who already helped me out with lots of stuff for my original travel guide in 2008. He went on to write his own books, and he published books about James Bond and about Game of Thrones locations, which are available at Amazon. You should really check that out. They're in Spanish though, but I'm sure they will also sell a Spanish dictionary, so that really shouldn't be a problem.
Mojito, por favor.
This concludes episode 23. If you haven't already, don't forget to check out the earlier episodes. For now, take care. See you next time.
Magnificent view.
Check out onthetrucksOf007.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.